Hi, ladies. I'm here with you, Yvonne, and with me is Erin. And we've been making some podcasts for our ministry franchises, but now we are going out and we're stepping out and we're doing a podcast for all of you because we have something so exciting to share. It's nice to be here with you, Erin.
Very nice. I absolutely love our podcast, that we have a daily podcast. We decided not to have one on Fridays because we've gotten so much covered every day this week. And I think a lot of our franchise owners or leasees, or however we're going to say it, I think they're a little worn out with everything because so much new, very exciting for everything. But now we're going to talk about something totally different. Do you want to start? You explain things a little bit better and able to sum it up. So I'll let you take the headlines.
I'm able to sum it up, but you're actually better at explaining when it comes to
Good. So we make a good team.
We make a good team. So we have the licensed ministry franchises, and as we were going over it today, we remembered that there was no one for the encouraging men. And forever we've been looking for someone that can do encouraging men for us, because of course, when you're a mother, you would want your son to be a wise man when he grows up. And
now I can't seem to hear you. I don't know if that's just me.
You showed Erin something very, very interesting that we want to share with all of you for how we can build the encouraging men for the next generation. And I'm really thinking about the next generation when I'm thinking about it, but it can be just so much more than I ever dreamed of course.
Sure.
So yes, Erin, if you just want to explain a little bit more about how we got to this. Yes.
Okay, so let me just talk about the men's ministry. For a long time, just like all of our ministries, they were focused on one thing: marriage restoration, though it was so much more. We weren't really focusing on it. We've shifted everything, and it's not that. And so now with the men's ministry, like the rest of them, what we want to do is we want to focus on the man, all the men. There's fathers, there's sons, there's cousins, there's nephews. There's people, I take Ubers. There's a lot of men that drive where I can share that with them, the men's ministry. But right now, there is nothing really happening alive like it is in the daily encourager for the daily encouraging women. We see so much, and I think all of us are loving this, and how there's comments, and here's a retreat and 5 comments here, 14 here, because there's real live people interaction. We want that for our men. We want that for our sons and our brothers. So we reached out to a couple of our well, actually 3, a great 3 chord, we thought, with the encouraging men. And I had planned to, Yvonne, have this open so that they could see who they are. But maybe we'll have it in a link, the bios and stuff, rather than spending time to open it. But we have 3 amazing ministers. One who is now, she is going on to hopefully minister with her husband in the future. And so we thought, oh my gosh, that would be a perfect fit, so that they as a couple could minister in the men's ministry. And then we also have Tara, who is over the this ministry. She has a wonderfully restored marriage. Maybe she and her husband would do it. We also reached out to Paula and asked her about doing this. Now, we don't know for sure that they talk to their husbands. And if you're listening, both of you, Paula, Tara, just asking your husband to pray about it. We got done having a long conversation about just when someone prays about things, it totally changes the heart. And as wives, if you're married, and you want to talk to your husband about something, then you shouldn't be afraid that you can't ask him something. You should be able to go ahead and do that and not worry about, am I a good wife? Is this the right thing to do? We don't want to put husbands or marriages on a pedestal. When you put that above your relationship with the Lord, you're going to run into trouble. So just asking him, explain what it is, pray about it. If they say no, they say no, but you never know if they really do pray about it. Well, I don't know why that got very large, but if you do pray
Yes.
about it, I know I have testimonies about how it just totally changed my husband's heart when he just prayed about something. You know, we were just talking about a building fund. He didn't want to pray about it. Finally, when he did pray about it, after a long ordeal about not praying about it, when he finally did, he wanted to pledge a huge amount, 10 times more than I thought. I don't know if I told you that, Yvonne, but 10 times more, you know, 5 times more for sure than I ever thought
Yeah.
he would want to give. Because, you know, when you know, God hears our heart, he would turn the heart. And so anyway,
Yes.
coming to this, what we thought about in our discussion today and why we wanted to record this. And if you want to find out more about what is a licensed ministry franchise, it is here on this page. You'll see the link and it'll
Everything.
explain a lot here, though it's always, as we learn things, we put it up there. But what we
Yeah.
want to do is we want to provide a blog and to have someone covering it and having teams of 2. Now, we kept thinking, my limited mind thought of couples. So we had these 3 restored couples. There are other restored couples. We have other restored couples, like who's heading up our homegrown. Isabella has one. So she might want to talk to her husband, say, just pray about it. I hope she does. And but at the same token, I'm just looking right here, Adina, I don't know all about her life. She isn't married at the present, but does she have an uncle? Does she have a cousin? Does she have a nephew? I do know, like
Brother.
Poppy has the nephew, you know, that sort of thing. I'm just throwing out because I don't know, only God knows.
Yeah.
But you could be listening and you're not even one of our ministers right now, but this is something that is just the answer to your prayer and you want to become, you know, involved in it. We talked about Sarah has a wonderful relationship with her father. And so maybe a father-daughter, you know, a mother-son, a father-son would be, wow, that would be amazing. That could happen. But, you know, with God, nothing's impossible. So we're just putting it out there that we're looking for this. And the more that sign up, the more that each one is not as responsible for different things. For instance, if you look on our Encouraging Women now at the very bottom, we'll be moving it up, but we have our featured blog. What this is going to do is that on Tuesdays, the Spanish ministry is going to oversee the Encouraging Women. Wednesday, it's going to be Homegrown. Thursday, Hope at Last, and then Friday, the Portuguese ministry. So they're going to come in, they're going to make sure that there's something fresh posted, that they're looking at the comments, and that's all you're going to be doing for the men's ministry. It's basically if you as you know, as a couple, let's say, and you and your husband are going through the Bible, then that's what you would post. That is, this is what we're doing. If they're just pulling a promise for the day, read the promise, post the promise, and share what you both kind of said about it and minister to the men. You're going through the Psalms and Proverbs, or you're going through the morning devotional, whatever he speaks to you in your heart, we want to provide this opportunity for you to minister and to be blessed by it and to bless others. And so we would just like for you to, under this post, to comment. If you've got something to say, if you say, I'd like more information, whatever it is, any questions, if you say, I've talked to my nephew and he and I want to do 1 day a week, 1 day a month even, I thought, what if they did a podcast, that they did a fellowship podcast, and we would post that in an audio on that once a month even. All we want to do is we want to see this become alive. We want to allow God to do things that we never dreamt of, imagined. And we want to not put him in a box. It doesn't need to be a restored married couple, though they're wonderful. But if it is any other combination, the only thing that we will not do is we will not have a woman coming here and posting, which is why nobody's posted anything, because we have no men.
Yeah.
So that's all that we ask. It just has to be that the man has to be somewhat of the leader. I mean, if it's a brother and a sister, you get that, but we do
Yes.
want the men to come forward. The danger
Mm.
is in women preaching to men. We don't want to
Yes.
fall into that. We don't want any sort of, negative
Yeah.
coming on the ministry. That's the only thing. So what have I forgotten? I've done a whole book here. I've filled in a lot of the blanks. What do you want me to open up any one of these
No,
to talk,
think
or do you have something?
No, I think it's exactly just like that, just coming in and minister and making sure that it is the men that's ministering to these other men, because there'll be no way as a woman that you'll be able to minister to men effectively. Yes,
That's a
so
totally
I think
different
that's the
thing.
most important, and I think maybe something that we could just mention, and I know that we left it unmentioned because we assumed it wasn't. So I don't think that we will be like a, can I say, when you're in a relationship but you're not married. So I
absolutely. Yes.
yeah.
Well,
So I
wait,
guess that
you know what? If it was an engaged couple, I think
engaged
that would
couple.
be
Okay.
okay.
All right.
If
Yes,
they're
that would be
really
okay.
not just, there's engagements now that they never intend in that,
Yeah.
a morally pure engagement, then that would be, it's a rarity, but it is.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
have a question like that, would I qualify for it? Then put it out there and we will lovingly we just speak the truth to you, just the way,
Yeah.
and just show you what he says. But yes, that's absolutely
Yeah.
what we want to do. But what we're going to get away from is the way these recent ones have been posted on the men's. There's nothing else. It was, it's something that I wrote a while back that's been posted and it's very popular. However, whoever, if you wanted to post this, then you would have to say something about it. You would have to share some kind of ministry, and that sharing that ministry would have to come as the two of you together, or the man doing it, but not the woman just coming in and doing all of that. We can't.
Yes.
We don't want to encourage that, and we certainly don't want that going on in the website. So, and if you do sign up and the man in your life, whether that's your brother or nephew or whatever, and he bails out, then you go ahead and retreat too. We'll say that up front too. All right, I think that's it. Is there, if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and end it. And we're looking forward to doing more podcasts. So thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
If you don't know anyone, and you think about it, just ask Lord if there is, bring them, and just we'll agree, that this is going to happen.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.